guys, welcome back to Movies with Moya, and today I'll be reviewing Malcolm and Marie. Now, if you're not following me on Instagram, please go and do so after you're done with this video at Movies with Moya. Also, if you're new here, please subscribe and feel free to like, comment, and share if you enjoy my content. Now, let's get into the review. Okay, so let me start by giving you guys a little synopsis of the movie. So the movie is exactly how they said it was going to be in the trailer. Just two people in a relationship arguing all night. It stars Zendaya and John David Washington, who play Marie and Malcolm respectively. Now, Malcolm is supposed to be this award-winning filmmaker. Well, award-winning now because he just released a film and it did so well that it won an award, and he invited his wife Marie to the award show. But the catch is he forgot to thank her, and that lets Marie remember everything bad that happened in the relationship, everything she was holding on the inside. And of course, when she calls him out for it, which she does reluctantly because she did say she didn't want to argue on the night of his award ceremony, but when she calls him out for it, everything comes out, and that's how the whole argument starts. Now let me get into the main points of this review. So I see where a lot of people are disappointed in the film, wanting it to have more, saying that it was just them arguing. But to that I say, what did you expect? Like, it never gave me an impression that this was going to be something that I was going to sit out and have to look at the whole plot line. I'm going to be seeing a full-blown drama with other characters. I never got that, and I don't think that the writers put that image out there. So for you to think that this was going to be more than them just arguing, like, I feel like that's you setting up yourself for disappointment, because I don't think that was ever portrayed. I do not think that Malcolm and Marie is one of those films that you're expected to understand, you're expected to come out with some deeper meaning from. No, they just wanted to show you the reality of a lot of relationships, even relationships that we consider to be normal, like the whole fighting part of it. Sometimes it does get that messy, sometimes it does get that toxic, because you know everybody uses that word toxic, and the fighting is absolutely terrible, and I think that's all the writer wanted to say. So, like, with that said, let me get into my second point. So the film makes fun of itself without directly making fun of itself. So let me explain what I mean by that. So in the start of the film, you know, Malcolm talks about his own movie, because as I said, he's a filmmaker, right? So he talks about his own movie and how, like, white critics especially would say that, okay, because he's black, he is making this a race movie. So they politicize the movie, as with like you know, black films. That's really how it goes in the movie world, right? And they would put a deeper meaning to the film, when really he was just showing the trauma of Imani, who is the star of his film that he refers to throughout the movie, right? And that's essentially the same thing with Malcolm and Marie. I find that, like, even myself, we were seeing this as a movie about black love in a different sense. While everything black, like black cinematography, kind of does get politicized whether we want it to or not, they did point out that critics were going to do that, people who were reviewing it were going to do that same way. Everybody's saying, look at them showing how black love is vulnerable. But the only catch is, you know, the person who wrote and directed this, he's not black, he is white. So yeah, the creators and writers of Malcolm and Marie really saw how the movie reviewing world would tear this movie apart and put some deeper meaning to it just because the two stars are black, when really he was just showing you, like, look how toxic some couples can get, like, look how unproductive it gets when some people argue. Because we have to admit it, that this was very true to life. You might have not necessarily experienced it, because I know I haven't, but you probably know of people in relationships who do this. Like, even when Zendaya says, I don't want to argue because it's going to be very unproductive right now. Like, yeah, that's exactly what happens, and it turns out to be so unproductive and so abusive and, as I said, toxic. And I always put toxic in quotes because, you know, everybody's overusing that word right now, and I don't want you to think, you know, that I'm not being serious, but like, that's the only way I can describe it. Toxic. But then on a much lighter note, aside from the fact that this movie clearly had its intentions just to showcase such a, you know, kind of mentally taxing relationship, it had such beautiful cinematography. Like, the graphics were really great, and I feel like people who didn't enjoy the movie for what it was, because as I said, it's just something you appreciate the realities of others. It's not something to understand, it's not something to get a whole plot from. It's not a marriage story, because I could see the parallel between Marriage Story, you know, that award-winning movie with Scarlett Johansson and Adam Driver. Yeah, it's basically the same kind of movie, you know, but Marriage Story took place over years, and so you saw the progression of their relationship, so it was easier to accept the fact that their relationship deteriorated. With Malcolm and Marie, you only saw the relationship in one night, so I guess to viewers it seemed like, oh, these are just some broken people who should not love each other. And trust me, they are broken. The two of them have their problems, don't get me wrong, but it's less palatable for audiences because we don't see that progression. We don't see the steady decline of their relationship. We only hear about the things that happen in the past when it comes up in their arguments, and the things that happen in the past always come up in the worst ways because, you know, they're fighting with each other. So yeah, back to cinematography. It was beautiful, and as I said, that's where the people who didn't appreciate the movie for what it was finally started to appreciate the movie, because although you didn't like what you were watching, it was beautiful to watch. The black and white, the angles, the acting is another thing. Everything beautiful, amazing, lovely, 10 out of 10. Like, nobody can take that away from Malcolm and Marie. The cinematography was absolutely perfect. But yeah, that's enough for this movie right now. I really hope that you guys understand what I'm saying from those ramblings that I had earlier, and that you appreciated this review. And if you have any thoughts on the movie, let me know in the comments below, or DM me on Instagram, anything that makes you comfortable. Also, follow me on Instagram at Movies with Moya. Remember to subscribe. I really just want to get to 250 subscribers. Please guys, please subscribe and like, comment, and share this with your friends. Thanks for watching.